Welcome to the Business and Bubbly podcast. This is the place for women in business who are on the journey of building their big ideas and want to have fun along the way. It's for those of us who also know we aren't meant to do business or life alone. Hi, I'm Charity Majors, your host and the founder of Business and Bubbly. Think of this kind of like the can I pick your brain chats that you've always wanted to have with those who are doing epic things, plus business besties, hype girls, and getting into massive action towards your next big idea all in the same place. Oh, and bubbles, because if you're not having fun along the way, you're not doing it right. Together, we'll unlock what it means to be seen, known, heard, and championed all along the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and being a woman in business building big dreams. Each week, I'll bring you a quick sip business tip, as well as interviews from top experts that make you feel like you're getting bottle service for your business. We're having the raw and real conversations and chatting about all the things, the messy middle, the pivots, scaling, the good days and the bad days, because here we do real. It's where we can work hard, play hard, cry it out, and dance it out all at the same time without being judged. This is a place where we are in the arena together and we are each other's biggest fans because most of us have enough comments from the cheap seats. It's where our too much is par for the course and where the gaps of our not enough are filled in by the other epic women that are around us. It's where we can be unapologetic about the mission we are on, about the big dreams on our heart, and the business we are building without having to be perfect or have it all together, or even pretend to. It's a supportive community where business is being done amongst like-minded women, because when money gets in the hands of good women, great things happen. It's a place where you have the support around you to get out of your comfort zone and go after your big ideas, because even when you fail forward or when you reach the top, you know it won't be alone. Also, if you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm obsessed with creating platforms that lift up other women to be seen and heard and known. So with that in mind, I'd like to invite you to list your business on our directory called Find Women in Business. All you've got to do is text the word directory to 833-231-8098, and I'll text you the link back to get your free listing. This is also a great way to connect with other women in business from around the world, so definitely check it out. And now let's get to the good stuff. Grab a glass of your favorite beverage, Prosecco, bubbly water, or whatever your flavor is, and let's dive in. Are you with me? Here we go. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Charity Majors, and we are going to be talking today about the difference of being in community compared to community being in you. And this episode is actually brought to you by our Business and Bubbly Summit. It's coming up September 29th and 30th in Boise, Idaho. And if you are anything like me and you are a fellow woman in business who loves to be in the room, because you know that there's nothing that replaces the magic of what happens in the room when we get heart to heart, soul to soul, belly to belly, business to business, when we get real, when we get raw, when we get face to face, authentic in not only the places where we are too much, where we feel like we can be unapologetic and we can share, we can show up as our most favorite self, which PS, we are having a show up as your favorite self kickoff party. So if you have the outfit that you wish that you had an event to wear it to, this is for you. So you are going to want the bottle service VIP upgraded ticket when you get your ticket to Summit to be invited or to be included in the VIP kickoff party. But when it comes to being in the room, there's nothing that replaces the magic of what happens when we get in there. Give me a high five if you totally agree. Now, online summits are great. Zoom is amazing. On Facebook groups are great. They're a really amazing way and tool and resource to, yes, be able to connect with people from all over. But there's nothing that replaces
the magic of what happens when we actually immerse ourselves in an environment. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this. So my husband and I, we love to go to Mexico, and I took 4 years of Spanish. I took 3 years of Spanish in high school and 1 year in college, and can speak Spanish un poquito. I can speak it a little bit, but I actually understand it a lot more. But I don't practice it a ton. Like, we don't live in a place where there's a ton of Spanish speaking culture. But I can honestly tell you, when I'm now immersed, and when we go into Mexico, when we immerse ourselves in the culture, it comes back like nothing ever left. And all of a sudden I am just like this amazing Spanish speaking white girl. And I'm just like, and I have been having these conversations, and I can totally understand what they're saying. But it's because of the immersion. It's because I'm in the culture. It's because I'm around it. And that's the same thing with immersion when it comes to growth environments. And so if you are a woman on a trajectory towards your next big idea, towards the big dreams on your heart, towards the business, building a business that you love, then get in the room and come to Summit. All you've got to do is go to businessandbubbly.com/summit. And early bird tickets are still available for a limited amount of time. So head over to businessandbubbly.com/summit and grab your ticket. We would love to have you come join us in Boise, September 29th and 30th. Now we're going to dive into the message for today when it comes to community being in you and you being in community. And there's a difference, okay? So it's kind of like when you take a drink of water. The water gets in you. There's a difference between you going in the ocean and being immersed in it. Okay? So here's the difference between community getting in you and you getting in community. Now, both are valuable. Both are, there's a difference, right? So here's the thing. When it comes to just like water, when community gets in you, when someone in your community, when a culture, when a group of especially women, when they get in you, when they get in your heart, when they land in your soul and and you are like in it, okay? Then when they get in you and they resonate with your heart, it means something really, really. We are meant for community, and it is meant to help sustain us, okay? But there's also a difference between us getting in community. So now, not just community getting in us. So not just having women like come and touch our heart and being like, yes, like I love this thing, but now I'm involved. I'm invested. I am in community. I am diving in the deep end. I am immersed. I am surrounding myself in this culture, with these people, in this community. And here's the thing, is it's going to float you. Just like you float in the ocean, when you get in community during those hard times, it's going to float you. And it's going to have you, I will say this, there are communities that can sink you, right? There are communities that can drown you. So be mindful of that. But when you find the community, when you find the women that are there, that are going to give you the life raft, that are going to give you the hand up, that are going to help float you, that are going to be your biggest support when you can't support yourself, that they are going to help you swim and help you float when you get tired, or when you feel like you're failing, or when you feel like you don't have what it takes, or you keep coming up against the same blocks, or you keep getting in your own way. Community can float you. The right community is going to float you. The right community is going to help you lift up your arms. The right community is going to be the ones that help you not drown, that keep your head up above water when you feel like you are drowning. Okay? So my encouragement for you today is to find the rooms that will help float you. Find the rooms that aren't going to drown you. Find the rooms that you can get involved in, that you can immerse yourself in, that you are invested in. Just like when you get in the ocean, it's going to surround you. It is going to float you. It is going to immerse you in the best way possible. Okay? Because yes, we want community to get in us. We want we want to have open hearts, to allow them to affect us, to be vulnerable, and to allow what they do and what they say to affect us in a good way, right? Because here's the thing, is it can be really easy. Because don't get me wrong, we can be really hurt in community, and we can also be really healed in community. And if you're anything like me, I have absolutely been hurt in community, and I've been hurt by other women. And to be honest, to be a community builder, especially among women, for me, it's vulnerable. And it would be really easy because of my past to just have a closed heart and to like just be be focused on the numbers and just have a bunch of members and a bunch of followers instead of actually building community and instead of actually being invested in the women that we have in our community. Because it's vulnerable. It's vulnerable when you get invested, when I get invested in your hopes and your dreams. It's vulnerable when you start to cheer on and really believe in the other women around you. It's vulnerable to say, actually, I need help in this area. And it takes an open heart. It takes a soft heart. Because being in community, like to get community in you, it's vulnerable. And vulnerability actually breeds vulnerability. It gives permission for vulnerability. And it's actually one of the strongest things that we can allow. Keeping a soft heart in community is one of the strongest things that we can do, especially if you've been hurt by other women like me. So my encouragement for you today is to find the communities that, yes, you can allow them to get in you. You can invest your heart in them. And that you find communities that you can dive into the deep end with. If you haven't found that yet in your local area, that's what we are about. So either come join us online in our virtual networking events or find one of our local in-person chapters and get into community and let community get into you. All right, my friend, have an amazing day and cheers to your success.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. I hope it brought some value and some fun into your business and life. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, and even share the episode with a fellow business bestie who you know will love it. It helps us continue to attract top-level guests and reach more and more women who are on their journey in business just like you. Remember that when money gets in the hands of good women, great things happen. Cheers to your success.